We love having Dame Andrea Jenkyns on the show. She comes on quite a lot, and we're always very, very thrilled to have her on the political asylum. But never before have we been treated with her actual physical presence. So here she is, Dame Andrea Jenkyns, in the studio. Welcome.
No, it's good to be here, Kev.
It's a pleasure to have you. Well, let's just do what we normally do with you. Let's cover a few stories. But I had to get your take before we move on to matters domestic. Your thoughts about what's going on in the Middle East. Obviously, serious escalation of tension, serious escalation of action in the last hour or so. This Iranian attack on an American airbase in Qatar. And the threat of more to come. We don't know how Donald Trump will react. But one thing I'd like to get your take on, what is clear is that while all this is going on, our Prime Minister and our Foreign Secretary, David Lammy, do not have the faintest clue what's happening. They're not involved in the circle of intelligence. And I think they're both making fools of themselves, pretending that they do.
No, exactly.
And here's my last point. This is what I'd like to ask you. Don't you think that we, the people of Britain, have a right to know where our government stands on this action?
Absolutely.
Who do we support? They've been asked time and time again, do you support what Donald Trump did? Do you support America standing firm, side by side, shoulder to shoulder with Israel, joining the attacks on Iran? Where do you stand? Whose side is our government on? They won't tell us. Don't you think that's bad?
I think it's probably because a lot of their activists are the pro-Palestine lot as well, don't you? But, I mean, look, it goes back a long way, the issues, doesn't it, really? Decades. And remember when Theresa May, she was one of the leaders who brought about the deal with Iran to try and curtail any future nuclear weapons. But it was pretty obvious. I mean, I said at the time that, you know, you're dealing with terrorists here, they're not going to stick with that. And so I think the issue only goes back further, doesn't it? And but yeah, it's been weak. I mean, and the Chagos Islands deal, where we had to let them know what we're doing as well, is a great blunder of him. But I think what it is with Starmer, that he is torn because he's got a lot of left-wing MPs. And so he's trying to.
Himself.
He's left-wing. He's as left-wing as Corbyn.
Yeah, his instincts are just like Lammy. They're anti-Israel. That's his DNA. Yes, that's in his DNA. Default position. Exactly. He doesn't like Israel much. And because of Lammy's attitude, because of Starmer's attitude, you know, announcing that they'll arrest Netanyahu if he steps foot in British soil. They sanctioned 2 members of the Israeli government 2 weeks ago. We are seen as anti-Israel, and therefore we don't get told anything. We got Keir Starmer last week at the G7 saying, "Oh, I wouldn't read too much into what Donald said. There won't be an American attack." Thanks for that, Keir. These people don't know anything.
But they're not reading the room, are they? It's obvious this is going to happen.
But they don't know anything, do they?
No, they don't.
Which is
But
bad.
they are still schoolboy politics, aren't they? They are like, you know, all this Palestine Action who's taken to the street, and, you know, these end up as MPs, some of these, don't they? And this is the issue, because it's trying to please both at the moment, to be on the national stage, international stage, to be seen as credible. But at the same time is not credible because he's got no conviction, he doesn't believe in what he's saying. So that is the issue.
You'll join me then in calling on the government, calling on Starmer and Lammy to show
some backbone.
Show some backbone.
Absolutely.
Tell us where you stand on the legality of this, because Lammy wouldn't answer the question. Do you feel this is legal? He wouldn't answer the question. Also, more fundamentally, why won't they tell us whose side they're on?
He didn't want any rebellions in Parliament. That's what it is.
All we got from Starmer and Lammy is an explanation of what the Americans have done. Exactly. We know that. What we want to know, Keir, is do you support Donald Trump? Do you support him? Where does this country stand in this action? It's extraordinary they won't tell us, isn't it? I
know, but it's so important what Donald Trump's doing, actually, for the safety of the world, isn't it? And what I find very sad as well, I mean, I don't know if you've seen pictures out there, Kevin, of, you know, pre the Islamic terrorist regime, women dancing in the street, women in Iran.
Oh God, yeah.
You know, very westernised, and free. And looking at them now, it's barbaric the way they're treating them.
It used to be the sort of Paris of the East, didn't it? It was an amazing
and it's heartbreaking, actually. And this is what does my head in, actually, you know, these Palestine Action, all these gay for Palestine, etc., when they'd be hung.
Queers for Palestine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They'd be hung, wouldn't they?
Stupidest organisation in the world.
But they would be hung if they went to
Iran. They'd be pushed off
they?
a car park. Exactly. Well, listen, let's come back to a couple of domestic stories that I thought you might have some interesting comments on. Well, the first one is about it's the grooming case, the rape gang scandal. Yeah. This is a rape gang member, a paedophile rapist, who he's a convicted Pakistani paedophile rapist, part of a gang up in Rochdale, living his best life. We are unable to deport this guy. His name is Qari Rauf. He was one of 9 men jailed in 2012 for raping and trafficking vulnerable girls. When we tried to deport him at the end of his sentence, he ripped up his passport and says, I renounce my Pakistani citizenship. Yeah. And as a result of that, apparently we haven't been able to deport him. So here he is. And
apparently police protection has got as well, hasn't
Here he is. Here he is 7 years after losing his appeal against deportation. And not only is he having a lovely time at his house, his terraced house in Rochdale, he throws regular parties, and parents in that street full of kids are mortified. They're terrified. We've got a paedophile there.
Absolutely.
We've got mums saying, I don't let my little kids play in the garden. This guy is stuck here. And we can't get rid of him. What's going on?
It's just appalling. And I mean, what they could do is actually throw him back in prison until you produce a passport. You're staying there for life. That's what I would do. And let's face it, you know, somebody who's raped children, they have no human rights in my books, and they don't belong on the streets. Throw him back in prison. And anybody who's trying to protect him until he applies for a new passport, and we get rid of him.
Well, this guy, Qari Rauf, paedophile rapist, as I say, part of a 9-strong gang who went to jail in 2012. His situation is representative of the situation of a lot of great gang alumni. So these rape gangs were predominantly either Muslim men of actual Pakistani origin, in other words, they're from Pakistan, or they're Muslim men, British citizens of Pakistani origin. You know,
heritage.
Heritage, yes. Now, Qari Rauf was born there, but several of these people have done their time, have been earmarked for deportation, and the reason we can't deport them is one thing: they go like this with their passport.
No, absolutely.
I renounce my citizenship, and we go, oh God, how are we going to get rid of them now? This is ridiculous.
But if you look at
Why don't we just say to them, oh, you ripped up your passport. Thanks very much.
Exactly.
Very nice performance. You're on the plane, you're going back.
Exactly.
What on earth is going on?
Absolutely. And look, the legislation is, you know, you can look at the government website for this. It states that, you know, they're renowned for doing this, ripping up passports when you're trying to deport somebody, so it's not a new thing, is it?
Right.
And I don't think any government's ever got hold of this. But we don't want these subhuman people on our streets, and it actually says online, if you look, that we can throw them in prison. And that's what we should do.
Well, damn well right we should. This guy also, because of his precarious safety issues, has had installed by the Greater Manchester Police in his house a panic button. So he can get straight in touch with the Manchester Police and say, oh, these local mothers are giving me a hard time because they say I'm a threat to their children. That's because...
I mean, as Mayor, I want the Police and Crime Commissioner powers, and I would never let anything like that happen in Lincolnshire. You know, I would certainly not protect evil like that.
Yeah. I mean, if you or I were in Pakistan, or for that matter any other country, and we just went, right, I'm renouncing my citizenship. Well, it takes a lot more than just ripping up what effectively is a piece of cardboard, which is your passport. That doesn't get you out of being a citizen of Pakistan. Why are our authorities...
And there's records there, isn't there, on the whole system? So
why are we accepting it?
No, I agree with you. But we have been soft-touch Britain for a long time, haven't we? Right since Blair's time with the Human Rights Acts that came in with Cherry Blair, isn't it?
Exactly right.